Numerous number of studies were focused on how the salary of workers affects their permanency with their job. Only few attempts have been made to investigate its factors. That's why according to Capaldi in the year 2017, there is still a need to investigate how minimum wage salary can affect least skilled workers. In line with this study aims to give a deeper understanding on how job obligatory, job satisfaction, and employment agreement affects the permanency of undergraduate workers to their job.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I am Oscar Jr. A. Dagarag.
And I am Hannah Elijah Sina Parete, presenting to you a research entitled
Job Obligatory Satisfaction and Employment Agreement.
Delving the Minimum Wage Salary of Undergraduate Workers Engaged in Industrial Sector.
Minimum wage is the lowest salary that employers can legally pay their workers. It was stated by Walters 2018. Most of the time, industrial sectors give their workers a minimum wage. City of Imus and Dasmariñas are known to have several of industrial sectors, namely First Cavite Industrial Estate or FCIE and EMI Yazaki. The said firms, there are many undergraduate workers are working there and they have been chosen to be the participant of this study. This research aims to give a deep understanding about the minimum wage salary of undergraduate workers and be able to assess the justification of industries for their employees and the reasons of workers for their permanency in their job. This research intends to answer the following questions. First, are undergraduate workers as minimum wage earners well compensated through job obligatory, satisfaction, and employment agreement engaged in industrial sector?
Next, with the use of the three variables such as job obligatory, satisfaction, and employment agreement, what is the strongest factor in determining why undergraduate workers as minimum wage earners are still engaged in industrial sector?
And lastly, is there any significant difference between the undergraduate workers and the reasons why they are engaged in industrial sector? For our theoretical framework, first is the standard of living theory of wages. According to this theory, the wage rate of a worker should be determined through their standard of living. Standard of living refers to the bare necessaries of life and also education and recreation to which the worker is habituated. In relation to our study, the wage of an undergraduate worker will depend on their basic needs, contract with their employer, and also with their level of their educational attainment. Next is the motivation hygiene theory. Motivation hygiene theory was proposed by Frederick Herzberg in the year 1959. This theory states that there are certain factors in the workplace that cause satisfaction. Moreover, it shows that there are so many factors that we need to consider for the satisfaction of a worker, like the salary they receive, relationship with colleagues, policies in their company, and also with their responsibility in their work.
For the conceptual framework, based on the theory aforementioned, job obligatory, job satisfaction, and employment agreement are the three factors that could affect the commitment of undergraduate workers with his job. It undergone a survey in the form of questionnaire, and it was utilized with the use of ANOVA or analysis of variance. For the methods and materials used in the study, the research design of this study is ex post facto. This is to know the effects of job obligatory, satisfaction, and employment agreement to the compensation of undergraduate workers.
For the instrumentation, structured written questionnaire was used to collect data in this study, and it was made by the researchers. The questionnaire used Likert scale to collect data on the attitudes of undergraduate workers towards their salary. It undergone through a validity and reliability test, which is the Fliess-Kappa coefficient. It resulted that there is a substantial and moderate agreement among the variables, which means it has the credibility to measure the consistency of scores. For our sampling technique, the researchers used snowball sampling technique to determine the different characteristics of the participants and to gather information from those referred participants.
And for the data analysis, one-way ANOVA or analysis of variance was used to determine if there is a significant difference between the means of independent and dependent variables. And for the data gathering procedure, the researchers used face-to-face manner to personally assess the participants in answering the question. After the research has been conducted, the following results and conclusion has been made. For the statement of the problem 1, most of the employees are constrained to work overtime because of lacking salary and work hours. But with the presence of the three variables, job obligatory, job satisfaction, and employment agreement, undergraduate workers are satisfied and well compensated with their jobs, which made the conclusion that the three factors, such as job obligatory, satisfaction, and employment agreement, can affect the remuneration of undergraduate workers.
To answer the statement of the problem number 2, based on the table, among the three variables such as job obligatory, satisfaction, and employment agreement, satisfaction is the strongest factor in determining why undergraduate workers are still engaged in industrial sector, having a variance of 0.373747. Each variable has different effects in the compensation of undergraduate workers in the industrial sectors. It has been concluded that satisfaction is the reason for the undergraduate workers why they are still remain with their jobs.
And for the statement of the problem 3, the table shows that the computed p-value is 0.00035. That is less than the 0.05, which means that there is a significant difference. This created a decision to do not reject the alternative hypothesis. These factors should be considered for the great productivity of the workers. However, each variable has a different effects on the compensation of the workers in industrial sectors. Moreover, the researchers therefore conclude that there is a significant difference between the undergraduate workers and their reason to work in industrial firms.
For our recommendation, first is for undergraduate workers. This study can help them in considering industrial sector as a great gateway to more opportunities.
And for the minimum wage earners, this study could be their basis to attain a wider clarification regarding their salary.
And lastly, for the future researchers, this can be a help as a future reference for more related studies in the future. Again, good day everyone. I am Oscar Jr. A. Dagarag.
And I am Hannah Elijah Sinacarete, presenting to you a research entitled Job Obligatory Satisfaction and Employment Agreement,
Delving the minimum wage salary of undergraduate workers engaged in industrial sector.
Thank you.
Thank you.